Go for truckification. Do try to limit further damage.
Ready to serve.
Truckification in progress. Consider self-preservation a priority. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Fortifying team.
Back and stand. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Combatant analysis. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Please observe that the archive entry is heavily defended. Consider an alternate means of access to avoid direct protectorate engagement.
Is a fellow subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work?
Maybe you weren't listening, but we've heard repeated reports of that bridge being an absolute meat grinder.
Now that you have been duly and repeatedly warned, consider an alternate means of access to avoid certain death from direct protectorate engagement.
Mental refreshment centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts.
Stealth is one valid course of action. Seeking and acquiring combat reinforcement is a more optimal course of action.
Dictates we repel
material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty
Professor
to
Ostergaard
protect
making a mess of things again.
together.
Agents, prepare for combat.
Mortificator at ready status. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Decondition. Emergency protocols ready.
Observe set progress. Sustain the system. Gray gone astray? Look a state. Mentally refreshed.
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the console.
Help you?
The console.
Combatant scan.
Lacking the appropriate skill for their assigned work. Report them for mental post-haste.
Prudence dictates. Invasive elements.
Remember those rejected grapple craft materials that got shipped here? I sold them to a protectorate officer who was low on supplies. Said it was imitation grapple meat. She means to pass them off as official rations. Imagine all those whole heads wolfing down failed Auntie's choice.
Ignore that. I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we were eating failed experimental material.
Prudence dictates. We cherish all.
Threat detected. Target analyzed. Lay down fire.
In all its forms.
Look a state today. Are you mentally refreshed?
subjects prosper under the guidance. Beneficent ruler.
I promise you this is merely tomfoolery. There's no way we were... You are the wrong... Real for perfection.
welcome to Caf Integration Point. I'm Junior Caffeine Celebrant Runch, and I'll be happy to assist you today.
A second makeup exam will knock me off, so I hope you studied this time, Briar. We begin now.
Right. No pressure.
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. Thank you. No, not asleep. Merely waiting. I'll have you know, I have never lounged once in my life, and this is no mere stool, but an innovative exploration of posterior accommodation. Oh, never mind. Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. How unexpected. Almost as if there's a universal plan at work in the universe. Please return when you've found all four. I will be here. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Oh yes, I'm aware. Better to know the spy in our midst than receive a replacement more capable of evading notice. Besides, Miss Doyle's harmless, and she serves the best convictions at the parlor, bar none. If you've already spoken with her about the experiment, I suppose there's no use in me playing coy, As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst. Irritation, paranoia, increased desire to gamble, oddly enough. All manageable conditions, of course. We are increasingly operating with fewer resources, however, and most regrettably, we've had to eject more and more subjects from the experiment in order to continue it. In a plan-perfected universe, we would have ample time to wean participants off perspective before sending them out of the garden. But, alas, we do not live in that universe. Yet. Why in the world would we do that? Is that your concern? No, no, no. All the participants agreed to have pharmaceuticals administered to them at any given point. See? Perfectly consensual. At any rate, I have no interest in debating the ethics of this experiment with a layperson. No offense. But now, where were we? Oh, yes. The spy. Has she now? Out of schedule. No matter. You should do as she asks. Get her that sample. This is an unparalleled opportunity to see the shape of Sub Rosa's web. We only need plant the right fly. After collecting the sample, mix it with this liquid tracer. It'll make the drug functionally inert and allow us to track it wherever it shows up next. Not as such. Not at the moment. However, let me put it this way. Any potential for interference above null is worth keeping an eye on. I did not become the Oracle Laureate by getting caught with my pencil down. Here, take this key. It will grant you access to water reconditioning, which you can find on the eastern side of the garden. You will also need this passcode for the terminal inside.
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever Protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting. If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together.
Welcome back, Agent. I trust Laplace's garden is treating you well? In what manner can I assist you? And how did she receive it? An acceptable resolution. Moving forward, we'll be monitoring her movements even more closely. All thanks to your efforts, of course. You made the right choice cooperating with the Order in this matter. Please accept this primer. It's a concoction of my own design. I foresee it being of great value to you. Yes, you already expressed as much. Well, I would not be a very good scientist if I kept my mind closed to other perspectives. Make your case, and I promise to listen. We would never allow that to happen. Perhaps I've kept myself from seeing how fraught this experiment truly is. Recent events have certainly provided good reason to update my risk metrics. Even a desire for progress may sometimes divide one from their senses. You've given me much to consider. I'll speak with the presiding bishop about the matter promptly. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Of course I do. That is precisely why my energy is better channeled toward the future, to ensure such tragic events never happen again. Landon Wiley was afflicted by that which strickens all scholars, the desire to effect change, to advance the plan at any cost. Were his methods wrong? Unequivocally. Should he have come to me with his concerns? Undeniably. But was his conclusion categorically sound? That remains debatable. Generally, yes. Although it's important to remember that unexpected outcomes can still arise from failed experiments. But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a stomachache and... oh, I just got rid of the last one.
So, you gonna ask the Earth Directorate for a promotion after this is over? I'd say you deserve a nice, comfortable job somewhere.
I'm planning to work my way up, but not through pushing papers. The Earth Directorate needs less bureaucracy and more boots on the ground. Only way to really help folks. Take, Town City, for instance. I've heard those folks might need a lending hand to get out from under the corporate fist.
If that's the case, then you'll need a friendly local to show you around. Put in a good word for you. I could, maybe, carve time out of my busy schedule to help.
Wouldn't dream of touching down without you alongside.
Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. Evidently so. Satellites from our magnificent Hyperion reticulum do not tumble so gracelessly down from the skies every day. Some might label me mistrustful, but I wonder at your sudden assignment to this matter. Your tardiness, too, invites questions. It raises doubt you are even who you presume to be. There is no mistaking the zeal and ardor in your voice. I will not apologize for my caution, though I will acknowledge I held amounts of it in overabundance. You may avail yourself of the satellite. Matriarch guide you in your work.
Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anaïs, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. Inquire away. I may even respond. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. Information free of context can be off-putting, confusing, dangerous even, if misjudged. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. May the plan favor us against long odds.
In a rare Auntie's Choice lab recording, which we acquired from a corporate investor.
People are gonna start to talk. Aren't you reliable? I just need one moment to copy the data. There, all done. Thank you ever so much. Was there anything else you wish to discuss? No need to wait for permission. Ask them.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion web. Hopefully you shall facilitate that. Now, how might we be of use to one another? Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been! Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes. You've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do. For yourself, for us, for Arcadia. For one, having the allied might of their forces at your back when facing down the Protectorate. If that's not sufficient, perhaps some additional incentive could also be provided. And if you might consider an appeal to your better nature, ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order would have untold benefits for all Arcadia. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. but I trusted the plan. And lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. If your actions were so easily imitable, then we would not be speaking right now. Accept the credit. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that? I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise. Yes, perhaps this is a fine opportunity to curve death's grim median. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider. Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. But perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable. But the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation. Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details of a conference then. My time is yours, for the moment. Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spyerton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. May you achieve progress.
Feeling distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment centers are help you. Don't risk falling prey to it. Thoughts? Go now.
Armed and ready. Got my lamps on a high.
Hastening to cover!
Collective cognitive compliance is a prescribed curative regime. Think only prescribed thoughts and no bliss and pleasure.
Seems like...
Facilities to be found throughout Arcadia. Placid Waters Wellnetarium, here on Freighter, is uniquely special. It is personally overseen by head refresher.
Remember, collective cognitive compliance.
Come in, come right, and be refreshed.
When we comply together, we thrive together. It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process.
Are you ready to realign with the paradigm? To shed all manner of imperfect thoughts? All it takes is some light instruction, a restorative cocktail, and a quick dip into the lathe of particularity to abrade your imperfections. I'm Head Refresher Gould, and I guarantee when you exit our doors, you'll be a productive member of our perfect society again. Soon you'll say, goodbye, imperfect thoughts. Hello, contentment.
Just like being back on smoke extraction detail at the shipyards. Oh.
Greetings, subject, or should I say refreshed to be. Welcome to the Wellnetarium. You're not on my schedule. A walk-in then. Wonderful. Once you're properly evaluated, we'll have you well on your way to refreshment.
Right. That's why we're here. Got some thoughts we need rinsed. Washed. Deloused?
Oh, you appear to have questions. A telltale sign of needing refreshment. Why, of course. Naturally. It is the duty of every subject to submit for a quick mental tune-up whenever we experience imperfect thoughts or lack a little zeal. Simply step over to my automechanical colleague to my left, / your right, and it will begin your assessment.
Greeting, subject unscheduled. Welcome to Placid Waters Wellnetarium. Evaluation commencing. Subjects are required to respond 100% accurately to all queries. Bespoke prescribed regimens may produce untoward ramifications if baseline data is greater than minutely erroneous. Query 1. Concisely characterize your personal perspective. Failure to field remaining queries will result in pointed castigation. This is your sole warning. The accepted answer is, I fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protectorate subject by operating at peak efficacy, without error, perpetually, each a vital cog. Query 2. Rate your present level of zealous efficaciousness on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the highest, 3 being a traitor, 1 being dead. Incorrect. Wait, processing. That was correct. No subject has ever answered that query accurately before to date. The degree of zealous efficaciousness expected of a dutiful and true subject of the Protectorate is beyond measure. Query 3. Do you ever fall prey to imperfect thoughts, including, but not limited to, doubt, disbelief, uncertainty, curiosity, recalcitrance, and mischief? Unacceptable. A perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. Final query. How would your neighbors describe you? Processing, determination, an acceptable response. The appropriate reply was, they never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Formulating conclusion. Phrenometric matrix delineated. Subject evaluation score total 150 out of 200. The acceptable amount for a true and dutiful Protectorate subject is 0. In conclusion, you are in dire need of mental refreshment. Now, proceed to the nearby pneumatic tube to collect your complimentary unitard and lift pass. Next, proceed 1 floor down, where you will be directed further. Your realignment with the paradigm begins now.
At all times, the paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
Never more content, never be content.
Can't stop picturing Sam going through this exact process.
Greetings, new person. You have a look of query about you. I have answers to questions and no questions to answer.
Medicament dispensement has concluded for today. Please proceed to the lecture hall.
Their team plays the worst anyone has ever played. Our first back is perfect. Our pitch ball is well conveyed. Oh, you're new. Must be. You still retain that look of inquiry and deliberation. I'm Waylon. No, I'm newly full of zeal. That is, I hope the process took this time. They say my phrenometric peaks are resistant to abradement, but still, they try. Wait, I just blinked several times, didn't I? What did that signify? I couldn't leave. Not yet. Haven't completed my regimen. My phrenometric peaks are still jutting all over the place, they say. Oh, why thanks, stranger. That's the first positive thing anyone's ever said about my phrenometric peaks. I'd go with you, I guess. But I need something first. They took all my things when I arrived. Stored them in storage. My commemorative pitch balls in there. From my favorite team, the Paradigm Abiders. Can't leave without it. Some say the sovereign sluggers are better, but the efficients always used to rule in their favor. Anyhow, my daughter got me this ball to commemorate a big game. I had to turn in my personal items when I was admitted. On account I tried to leave once or twice before. Saw them put it in a closet behind reception upstairs. Suppose so. Maybe almost, at least. One way out's the safest. Someone dug a tunnel in the kitchen pantry, though there are 2 automechs assigned there now, to keep subjects from wandering in and ambling off. That doesn't seem like the sort of thing that'd be allowed, but guess you know what you're doing. I'll be dithering about here in the meanwhile. Oh, hello!
The kitchen pantry is presently off limits due to anomalous structural temp.
Settle down, everyone. Lecture's playing. Prepare to be edified.
For today's topic, we'll touch on why our program is so very important. Ignorant, misguided outsiders may wonder, why does the Protectorate need mental refreshment? Doesn't it inhibit personal freedom? Yet this freedom they celebrate is a yawning chaos, and their choice is an invitation to failure, loss, and
Greeting, unscheduled walk-in. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, how mentally refreshed are you feeling today? Noting gloomful self-diagnosis and responding with couched optimism. Well then, that still leaves plenty of room for improvement. Medicament dispensement has concluded for the day. Response. Medicaments are stored in medicament storage, the office in which this unit presently operates. Yet, it is strictly off-limits to all non-refreshment facilitator personnel. Farewell statement. May refreshment soon render you free from doubt. A vital cog once more.
Aw, a new face. Well, I'd welcome you to the Wellnetarium, but the designated subject reader ought to have attended to that by now. Admitting you question is the first step in your recovery. But worry not. Soon enough, with our help and a little work, you'll never question again. Questions are an unmistakable sign of worry, disquietment, and worst yet, rumination. Once the mind is a thing of symmetry, vexatious agitatements simply waft away. As every loyal and dutiful Protectorate subject knows, thinking is best left to our betters.
Protectorate possesses the advanced technology.
You've missed the daily medicament dispensement, if that's what you mean. But you should take that up with the medicament dispensement automech directly. The medicament dispensement automech auto-mechanically dispenses medicaments. 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 I see you found the lecture as edifying as all the others here. Good, good. Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of the prescribed curative regimen. Head Refresher Gould provides us with daily lectures in audio cartridge form to steer group thinking. As they say, to think together is to together thrive. Upstairs in the audiovisual aids office, of course, though that area is off limits to all subjects not a part of facility staff or security.
Collective cognitive compliance is a key part of our
How very interesting. Here, take my pass then. It grants access to all mid-privilege priority areas. You must mean the lathe of particularity. One assumes you haven't had a session with Head Refresher Gould yet. You'll soon learn all about it firsthand. You'll feel ever so much better once your phrenolometric peaks have been abraded.
Like stealing compost from a breadworm. Almost feel a little bad about it. She sure ain't asking many questions. Though I figure that's the aim of this refreshment
undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
The console provides, the system abides.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Locked and stocked. Responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Subject to the most exalted we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Better take a gander. Hence, a formal invasive element.
Influence. Ready to waste. On your command.
Looking a little woozy there.
pressure good. The top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community. They sneer at our contentment.
Help you?
Liquidate us! Ordering position! Lost track of him! Looks like a fight!
Redo it then! Flush them!
And others are not.
Look alive, Commanders.
Give the order, and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Lost him!
Console provides, the system provides.
Troublemaker approaching.
Never doubted. Their zeal never lagged.
It is the duty of every protector and subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue entertainment, silence untoward inclination, and refreshes the mind.
Heads up.
Ah, you've gained privileged access somehow. Our superiors must have arranged it.
Possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
Perfect society demands perfect thoughts. Perfectionism. When the mind is a thing of symmetry.
Say, what's that sound?
Why does the wall look so soft all over?
It is the duty of every protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at efficiency at all.
I was led to believe my case required minimal treat.
Oh, do I detect a whiff of reprioritin gas? You know, I suddenly feel a mite more pliable somehow. Surely nothing to question. I thought no one was due for peak abradement for hours. I should have your chart. Wait. Ha! You're not a protectorate subject at all. You have the telltale look of wonder and introspection.
Apparently this one's never sampled his own supply before.
Well, this is normally where you'd say something. Oh, how outrageous. Suppose I should call the guards, but my. Oh dear, I seem to be a little unstable at the moment. But never fear, I have intellect to spare. Don't believe me? I can prove it. Even in a state such as this, I am more than able to apply my argumentative skills against the inferior minds and bankrupt philosophies of our rivals. To what end are you here? Tell me truly, speak plainly. You know, I'm beginning to have an inkling about your purpose here, and whose employ you're under. A proposal. Adequately debate me on the merits and failings of each group's ideology, and I'll provide you what you're here for. Yes, well, you'll see, even in a nominally reduced state, I am more than up to the task. So, what of the Order, our former allies, those cursed overthinkers, doomed to lives free of luxury, toiling away in ceaseless cogitation? What say you of them? My position is a burden gladly taken to ease the suffering of our subjects. I think so they don't have to ensure the paradigm runs ably. Their order is chaos to us. Though your point, while gratingly expressed, is noted, albeit grudgingly. What say you about Auntie's choice, then? Tell me, is there any value in the vapid emptiness of those corporate consumerists? That actually sounds to have some slight merit when you put it that way. I mean, such a system would leave behind the general public, though. All our friends and neighbors. Your point is not completely without worth, I suppose. Only mostly. In the Protectorate, we have the best of everything. Food, technology, a sense of belonging, freedom from doubt, worry, hard work. No, the others simply cannot compare. Me? Celebrated? No. Pride is a trap only an individualist would be ensnared by. Not someone like myself, of course, who thinks of our community's needs before minding their own. That said, perhaps our rivals aren't utterly without merit. As they say, even a stuck chronometer on the wall is right twice a day. No, I haven't. And that seems a rather facile argument to make about a society that utilizes automechs to handle daily chores and labor. A low-hanging fruit, as it were. Well, you've raised some interesting points, I suppose. Any other clever assertions you'd like to put forward before I fully evaluate your performance here? her opinion to me would be largely irrelevant. While I appreciate all she did, of course, there are those who are visionaries and those of us who enact vision, who make it real. Huh. Taken as a whole, that was the most engaging conversation I've had in, oh, well, couldn't even say. Yes, it's true. I am thoroughly disturbed by how much you made me question many long-held beliefs. But frankly, that was quite invigorating. Now, what next? Really? That's exceptionally flattering, and something I never would have considered before our belief-shaking conversation. But honestly, I do deserve it, don't I? Might I ask for a few additional particulars? For instance, what is the title of the role? My, that sounds wonderful. I shall head there straight away. Thank you so much for making this opportunity happen. Feel free to scavenge around. It's not as if anything you find here will be any use to your master.
Check enemy light just turned.
Responsible for making the refreshment process more refreshing than ever.
Don't hurt him, please. The Sovereign isn't at his best right now. You're not here to harm him, are you? If so, I must warn you, I will defend the Sovereign to the fullest extent of my meager abilities. Yes, it is. Our beneficent, infallible ruler, the Sovereign Henry Aloysius Varick, son of the first Sovereign, Reuben Varick. You'll have to forgive him right now. As I said, he is not his best today. We've been here since it was determined that the Sovereign, long distraught over the loss of his family, was in need of mental refreshment. Since then, he has been receiving dedicated treatment from head refresher Gould himself. Well, after his first session, the Sovereign was notably upset, launched into hysteric fits of paranoid ranting, absurd nonsense about how the consul had betrayed him and seized power. For his own good, he had to be gently but firmly restrained. That all stopped after his next dip into the lathe, thank law. He's remained quite peaceful since. I'm certain he'll be back to his old self in no time. Preposterous. The consul and all the vigilant are above reproach. No subject of the Protectorate would ever harm, or knowingly allow harm to befall our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign, or consider such a thing. To even think such a thought is unthinkable. This stately form before you is the direct descendant of the matriarch herself. All we have, all any of us have, stems directly from the works of his family line. I will stay true to him and the Protectorate to the end. We all will. The Sovereign is receiving the finest possible care, as he has every day of his life. Treatment outside the Protectorate is barbaric by comparison. Our system is perfect. Just leave us be.
of every protector is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so
Stargates on its course to the nation, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
The console provides, the system abides.
Only the Protectorate possesses the advanced technology and know-how behind the mental refreshment process. That's why we are all happy and contented, and others are not.
We reject individualism in all its many forms.
Hello! You find my pitch ball? Oh, commemorative pitch ball! I missed you so. Let's never part again. Suppose I'm ready to leave. Well, almost.
Is personally overseen by Head Refresher Gould, the top cognitive divisor responsible for making the mental refreshment process more
ready to go then, I suppose.
than ever.
If we get separated, I'll meet you there.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
The tunnel out was right here. Oh, they put a poster over it. Take it down, and I can be off. This is all right neighborly of you. Can't thank you enough. Now, after you. By all means. Oh, and, last I heard from my daughter, Emily, she was off to Free Market Station. You meet us there. She'll surely give you a reward. Guess all outsiders aren't as bad as Prudence makes you out to be.
Got some troublemaker approaching.
Got my lamps at a hostel.
When we comply together, we thrive together. It is the duty of every Protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
How are the informant lines treating you? Hear anything good? Not terribly.
I only peeled down the Patriot State.
Buy from me? Please?
Glad there are people out here like you. Gives hope. Both of us, well, we're forever in your debt. Ah, before I forget, here, this is for you. Thank you ever so much for freeing my father.
My friend from Placid Waters. Appreciate you fetching the pitch ball Millie got me. And of course, the escort out of there. Though mostly, the pitch ball. Wonderful, wonderful. So good to see Millie again. Don't know how to do anything here, but I can sing to my heart's content. You heading out? Do take care. Again, much obliged.
Think they made the statue big enough?
Is falling apart. If I found a way off this rock, would you...
The grand plan is the predetermined order to the entire universe. We can predict you down to a decimal.
now. You hear?
By calculating the position of every atom in the universe, we can predict the future, control reality, and ascend to a state of virtual godliness.
I didn't expect us to wander into the scene of a murder, but somehow I'm not entirely surprised. Anomalous events have a way of spreading, multiplying. We should find a way inside. There might be clues to what happened, and where Anais's research is now. The terminal at Winter's Grasp said Anais' work was sent here. There might be signs of that, or where the missing anchorite got off to. There may be more to learn here. We should keep looking. I've had a chance to look around. You seem like you've done a thorough sweep. We should discuss what we've uncovered. Poor thing. Blunt force trauma to the occipital lobe, I believe. Possible signs of an altercation. Might have been an accident. Might not have been. Hard to say with just a superficial glance. At the very least, her cloistermate Anchor's Brun has some explaining to do. A disputation of current order methodology focuses mainly on our presiding bishop, but saves ample room for the laureate council and previous regime as well. I believe I got the gist by efficiently skimming. The general concern is that the order has lost its way. My old department is repeatedly mentioned in a favorable light. Anais' work is regarded highly. I saw that. I believe it was Anchoress Chow's diary. Spoke about regular visits by an exemplar Southworth, who requested access to Anais' work. Chow seemed worried they were conspiring about something. that they'd mentioned an old order research station. That old research facility seems the most likely spot to look next. I know the coordinates on Eden, placed by the name of Point Obviation. I don't know what happened to Anchoress Chow, but leaving a body behind is suspicious, and the disputation reads like a call to arms for any fringe thinkers in the Order. There's no destroying the copies at this point, I'm afraid. We're past that. The research is out there. We need a way to keep anyone from taking it up further in the future. If we go in guns blazing from here, it will only continue. We need a plan to annihilate the idea. This is the exact sort of work we did at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. Diverting problematic events. We learned how to best respond once things begin to spread. We developed tactics at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection to minimize unforeseeable consequences. We can discuss once we see the situation on the ground. Fair enough. I understand we're juggling multiple crises. Lovely day for a coup, dear. The only surprise about the Protectorate's consul usurping the Sovereign's authority may...
Any and all manner of perambulation. Don't know who you all are, but unexpected guests are categorically unwelcome here. How'd you even find this place? Maybe I should just shoot you and glean details from your logs.
Ah, Exemplar, if I may. Surely you recognize such a notable member of our cohort, Marisol Delgado. The Endpoint?
I can't recall if I ended whoever came up with that name. Surely hope so.
You were head causality intercessor of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, right up till the end, correct?
More or less.
Well, what a fortuitous alignment of low probability events this is. Our efforts here are based on your former department. You should confer with Ancrus Brunn straight away.
Oh, I'm quite certain Ancrus Brunn would relish the opportunity to talk your ear off. We actually sought to find you and others of your program, Intercessor Delgado. A serendipitous event, you arriving. Nonetheless, I'd ask you to follow certain precautions. Will you heed all requests and vouchsafe for your colleagues here? Them being unknown to us and all.
We'll mind our manners, Exemplar. I'll see to it.
Then, you may all proceed. You'll find Wilhelmina up the lift, 4th floor.
Welcome to Point Obviation.
Ancrus Brunn is continuing Anais' research from Winter's Grasp. I'm sure of it. Best play along for now, until we can ascertain the best course of action.
I'm with Marisol. Given the security here, if we don't tread lightly, leaving peacefully might not be an option later.
Look, everyone! It's the endpoint. Come to join us, I take it.
I do have a unique interest in what you all are doing here.
You know, you strike me as someone with a very small body of published work.
I am a longtime vocal exponent of your work, Intercessor Delgado. I hope you don't mind me saying.
Yeah, with a facility this impressive, I'm interested to see the work that warranted its construction.
Oh, who's this? Aha! You're that Earth Directorate agent who's been stirring up all sorts of trouble. I have been brushing up on events of late and have become avidly familiar with your actions. A true anomalous outlier you are. I understand you allowed Seer Wiley to go free, yes? Once was a time I would have made that exact same decision. And you're Marisol Delgado. We've never met somehow, but I've read your file. An impressive body of work, though often quite mortiferously inclined.
Less so over time. There were too many pesky repercussions, I came to find.
Yes, well, to what do we owe the pleasure? Are you familiar with our goals? Come to join up, perhaps, or should I say re-enlist? Surely you're aware of the myriad errors of our current presiding bishop and previous regime. One of whom shut down the division that operated here, the other squandered it. Our sect aims to end human suffering, sooner than later. We've taken great inspiration from your former department, from their methods and their science. To solve the universal equation in our lifetime requires bold action, clever calculation, and assiduous work. Yes, we have Grace, that is Exemplar Southworth, to thank for that. Her visits to the anchor hold were quite thought-provoking, as was the research she showed me from Sia Bujold. Bujold's thinking was unconventional, ahead of her time. Why, in fact, she's here with us now today, overseeing an experiment that proves her researcher's theories.
Really? Sia Bujold is here, at present, in this facility? The one we're presently standing in?
Tut-tut, a mind like that is never out of practice. And the experiment she's overseeing, why, she's orchestrating it masterfully. The intent is to represent the building blocks of the universe within a test chamber, then extrapolate data revealing the universal equation from the micro-universe that forms.
Sounds like it could change everything, one might say.
Why, you should go see for yourself. As former colleagues, I'm sure you'd like to reacquaint. Go on. I'll call down to let her know you're coming. Yes, she's monitoring the experiment. I'll have elevator access unlocked so you can join her. Do please stay in the observation area, though. The work is quite delicate. We'll speak further after you check over Sia Bujold's work and the experiment concludes. Oh, so exciting.
How much longer do you predict preparations will take? Almost ready. Perfect timing for my former colleague to peer review. Head Intercessor Delgado. What an opportune time for you to appear. At the perfect moment to assist our experiment.
What in the endless void are you?
Shh. Comms off, but others are near. I need your aid before this ridiculous affair careens into disaster. Can I rely on you this time? Or will you already intend on scurrying away again? I came to derail this line of inquiry in such a discommodious way that no one would ever consider trying it again. For all the aforementioned reasons of it likely causing, or at least queuing up and leading to, the end of all things. You chose to leave me behind, again. So when they came calling, I thought it an opportunity to sort it all myself. Yet, admittedly, at this moment, I could use your assistance.
This shouldn't be your burden. It's on me.
You don't get to decide that, or adjudicate, or coolly comment in a steely growl. Not falling for that a 10th time. Help, or stay out of my way. The test involves 4 stations. Each represents one of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Zeranium gas, macro-ivs, nucleons, N-rays. All the usual stuff. That test chamber is where all are meant to mix. To simulate a mini-universe I can apply my theories to, pull data from, and deduce the universal equation in a reduced time frame. We know what happens if that's successful. So I need you to muck with each station's settings, then initiate the experiment. All you need to do is adjust each station's settings slightly. Things will cascade from there. Remember, subtlety is required.
Yes, if we alter the experiment input data in a less than delicate fashion, Brun will notice, I assure you.
The guards on the 2nd floor won't appreciate visitors, so avoid getting spotted. Here's a maintenance key. Head down the vent. It's only the fate of the galaxy riding on it, so perhaps try to be careful.
Hard to get in a good sleep cycle. These constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural logarithms.
I need a wait! On your command!
Suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Anyone else hear that? No? Oh, just me then, I see.
Enemy in vicinity.
That is the sound of science going exceptionally well.
It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summoned to numbers being sometimes things are squabbles,
I'm no tenured archivist, but that sounds dangerously unstable. Oh well.
Indelibly eradicate algorithmic dissonance. May all solutions proceed. Hard to get in a good sleep cycle. These constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural logarithms. fact-finding commences.
An inopportune time for distraction.
Us math that brings us wonders. Define recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci from Liber Abaci. Hard to get in a good sleep cycle with these constant permutations upsetting everyone's natural laws.
If you're done, evaluating my work and all settings of...
Did it work? Did it work? See, was it a success? What happened?
Hold the applause just yet. I need to run the numbers. I'm sending the others back up to you. They can describe the proceedings in detail.
I shall await their arrival. Anchor's Brun out. That is how these messages end, yes? If not, farewell.
The results of the experiment will be a career-ending embarrassment for Anchoress Brun. But she won't accept this lightly. We'll need to do more.
Yes, our next steps here will be crucial. I know this type of mission well. Granted, my targets were always meticulously well-researched beforehand.
You'll need to convince her, destroy her logic, end this research for good. All it requires is a forceful array of incisive argumentation, logical reasoning, coercive persuasion, and cognitive contortioning.
You mean one of our old brain-off maneuvers? Really? That's what the rank and file in our old department used to call it. Provost Bolding considered it a casual moniker unbefitting of an order scientician.
Make Brun give up on science, logic, and reason entirely. Then no one will ever dare continue the research again. Between you and Marisol, it should be a light challenge. Easy.
A brain-off against an Order anchorite isn't entirely without risk. We could employ certain other methods to deal with her. From our former department's playbook.
Oh, yes, a book you wrote titled Making an Execution Look Like an Accident. Despite the moral quandary ideally involved, unseen consequences still abound.
That's hyperbolic at best. Data suggests significantly fewer unpredicted outcomes than outright murder, if properly executed. And I'm quite capable of skewing results in our favor.
And here I thought you'd begun to change.
I've seen plenty of folks shot. Never seen a logic bomb brain off. That's getting my vote.
Success isn't guaranteed. A fair degree of cleverness is required. But you would have the help of someone reasonably intellectually nimble.
I would be willing and on hand to assist. And the other option would remain if we botch it.
Thank you for listening. That's a relief.
Honestly, I'm relieved as well. I am. I have been trying to be different. From the person others believe me to be.
From the legend? If you're retiring as the endpoint, we'll need to find you a colorful new sobriquet. But in the event you should fail, you'll need a viable backup plan, or it will erase any chance of success completely. The Anchorus is housed in a test chamber similar to this one. It's been refurbished with some rather tacky furniture, but much of the old experimental apparatus remains. There is a hatch near the elevator upstairs. An external ledge leads to a vent system that can connect the two chambers. Doing so will expose the Anchorus to a lethal atmosphere. I'll need to make an announcement afterward that an accident has occurred tied into the experiment.
For an extemporaneous plan, it's not a bad one. What if the Anchorus realizes what we're doing and calls for help?
I'll cut off her comms when she begins pleading. Oh, that sounds even more heartless when I say it out loud. Please choose wisely. Here's the hatch key in case you need it. May all your endeavors elicit expected results. And Marisol, do keep out of trouble.
There you are. You saw the experiment through to the end, yes? The data hasn't arrived yet, so please do tell. Was it as beautiful as I imagined? Any inklings to the result? Or perhaps I oughtn't to have recloistered myself till after the experiment concluded, Well, don't just stand there. Tell me everything. What? No. It couldn't. Wait. Let's start from the beginning. Step me through your understanding of what's gone awry. Not sure what gave you that impression, but I guarantee they are a hand-picked group of top-order scientists, all fiercely committed. No shirkers or malingerers among them. What else concerns you? These are all fundamental building blocks of the universe. Together, they form the primordial soup our galaxy was formed from. This is widely recognized in scientific circles. This was just a start. Such models typically make an enormous amount of errors at first. All quite expected, an anticipated setback, nothing more. It simply needs to be revised and refined. You certainly seem to be making a lot out of this, though, one must say. I'd miss her skepticalness and insight. If we could agree on a topic, there could be little doubt in its logic and rectitude. Look, there may be some validity to some of your points, yes. But we'll improve. We will continue to stride forward. There's absolutely no need for all this doom and gloom. certainly wasn't calling for an optimistic reading of the research or results, or advocating for bias in any part of the work. But with the architect as my witness, I find such an accusation needlessly provocative and somewhat mean-spirited. Now, is that all? Because I think I've had enough of all this. Everything we've done here is built off Sir Bujold's research, which is quite brilliant. Really? Will I become a laughingstock among my peers? Have the whispered jeers begun already? No. No, calm down. Breathe. You've faced setbacks before. Ah, the experiment data just arrived in my terminal. Allow me to eyeball it a moment. Perhaps there's something here to help prove or disprove any of what you've been saying. There was some variance to the input data. Not far beyond acceptable parameters, but curious. Could explain the failure. Oh, come. One bad test wouldn't mean the science is completely flawed. This has been a difficult conversation. Challenging, disputatious, at times compelling. Yet I remain unswayed.
If I may, I have a point I'd like to add. There's a critical flaw in Sir Bujold's approach I think best illustrated by this English phrase. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like a banana. I much appreciate this jest. Very simple, yet clever. Because in English, the word like can mean similar to or I prefer. And flies can be to soar, or plural of the insect. Through this perspective, it functions, makes sense, is humorous even. But in another language where words' meanings differ slightly, it does not. The framework we interpret the statement from changes, thus rendering it uninterpretable. False. Bujold's method of shortcutting the universal equation is much the same.
It lacks context. When you extrapolate the data from the mini-universe to the larger one, the information itself may scale correctly, but fail to interrelate. This little colloquy has proven rather arduous, and your points fail to... Wait. Considered as a whole... Damn it. No, I see it now. You are correct. We have obstinately and misguidedly blundered along here. The flaws in Bujold's research now seem apparent. Time for me to admit my errors. I'll need to inform everyone. Shut down research and operations. What will I do now? There's no place for me. Go. Leave me be.
Our work here is done, it seems.
Fellow scholars of the Order, this is Anchoress Byrne, with an unfortunate announcement. Our experiment today was a failure. Our line of inquiry has proven intrinsically flawed. I became dazzled by bold, captivating... ideas and ignored bad science. I am hereby canceling all related research, shuttering the program, resigning from the Order. If I have any final advice to impart to all of you, it is this: never follow your hearts.
I understand now why they say never meet your heroes, Intercessor Delgado. You've truly been an enormous disappointment. A key experiment fails and Anchoress Brun abandons vital research right after you and your consort arrive. And we are all to believe these events were unrelated?
That's circumstantial and more than a mite bit paranoid. I expect better from an Order scientician.
Even one from the Department of Applied Scientism.
Don't think I don't see your handprints all over this, Delgado. Sounds like a glorified way to describe agents of disruption. I'm skeptical that you lacked a part in all this. Suppose you'll claim this was all just coincidence, a misaligned series of mishaps that simply appear to be your fault. The Anchoress is one of the finest minds the Order has ever produced. I'm well versed in manipulative prevarication from feckless mutineers. Try again. Or try facing a gauntlet of well-trained exemplars. I could always choose for you. An interesting argument. Well, I don't mean to waylay you overlong further. I know you're to blame. I just wanted to see how far you were gonna take this. I can't believe Anchoress Brunn fell for any of it. Fellow exemplars of the Order, commence hostilities!
Let me know when you need a distraction. Ready to
hostilities as planned.
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Yeah. Combatant scan. Do try to limit further damage, Commander. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Mitigating the threat, locking them down. Combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Releasing explosion!
Combatant scan.
Oh, look who it is. The legendary former head intercessor of the Order. Another mission successfully completed. Made it through all that without a scratch, hmm? Glad to see. Here's a future I'd always hoped for. You listened. Didn't just rush in like, I am Marisol Delgado. I am always right, even when I'm wrong.
The credit or blame belongs to the commander here. It was their decision, ultimately.
You forget I know you. You always thought you knew better. No one could ever convince you of anything. Before, that is. Good to see. Maybe you are facing yourself.
There are a few things I'm still not used to saying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please. And thank you. But thank you, Anais.
At any rate, I'm off. You all take care now. Marisol, don't be too enigmatic or anything. Try. Before I forget. Meant to give you this earlier.
Oh, thank you, Anais. Goodbye. Oh, Brunn obviously murdered her. Thought you knew that. Perhaps it was an accident. Perhaps she simply wanted to knock Chow unconscious so she could sneak away. Or not. Indefinite immurement isn't for everyone. Even the finest minds may crack under the strain. But her canned feigned concern about Chow, how she kept changing the subject, both belied an underlying sense of guilt to me. Oh, not really. Not yet, at any rate. Everything's a bit raw right now. But suppose I will be. Thank you, dear.
Seer Bourgeot sure was something. Hope you didn't take any of her harsher comments to heart.
Commander, it's customary to evaluate. I've had some time to cogitate over what occurred at Point Obviation. Some parts don't sit right with me still. Wonder if you and I might talk it through. A bit, yes. With the work I used to do, I'm no stranger to guilt and regret. Midway into my requisite sleep cycle is when it usually plagues me the most. With Anchris Brunn, I know what we did was right. I know it saved lives. But we tricked her. Forced her to doubt her mind. You heard her. She's not just dissuaded. We broke her. And yet, such actions were par for the course for me in the past. When my remorse for Brunn rears its head, it will need to get in line. Well, I wouldn't bet against you there. Yes, Southworth was complicit. And now she's dead. Well, one hopes. According to Anais, we greatly reduced the likelihood of that occurring. It's not zero, but completing the brain off lowered the chance significantly. She seemed pleased that we listened to her concerns, so I've changed, apparently, thanks to you. It's been a while since anyone gave me a good talking to like Anais did. And I'll admit your influence has been rather positive. I'm pleased with the path I'm on now. I didn't think this is what the plan had in store for me. I've been facing myself with the same zeal I face my enemies. With tidier results. Appreciate you taking the time to talk it over, Commander.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Protector is subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency
Enemies
at all
detected.
times. The paradigm requires it. That's why mental refreshment is so important.
The mental refreshment process increases tractability, stifles undue agitation, stymies untoward inclinations, and refashions the mind into a thing of symmetry.
Tramicular. Arriving any moment now. The foundation that Auntie's Choice Society is based upon. Not because we worship bits, but because of the system.
I just had word from that old number cruncher on Cloister. Alden tells me you agreed to continue the work we began at Greater Tranquility Station. Grand! Collaboration between Auntie's Choice and the Order will truly reward all of Arcadia, not to mention the Order itself. If they partner with us, it's only a matter of time before they come to see that profits are a more tangible proof of progress than those unquantifiable theories they get lost in.
I see you're back from the Protectorate's little mind manipulation spot. All their secrets in hand, yeah?
Our team at Proprietary Insight Acquisition has been salivating over the potential commercial applications of that process.
Of course you did, my most trusted ameliorator. You never fail to amaze and impress.
Head Refresher Gould will fit right in, surely. Now, I assume you won't mind we have a few questions about the process. Our people will extract details about the pharmacology and methodology, and that will all no doubt prove useful, but we're most interested in the technology and its results.
Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals with Auntie's Choice.
Can't say I like the sound of that. Seems like they'd be difficult to market to.
How truly unfortunate. Those without desire or drive make terrible customers. They could barely even be considered consumers at all.
What else can you tell us about the place? Turn up any additional details? Anything especially marketable?
Demoted from his unnamed and clearly unimportant position within experimental operations.
But still, they keep on marketing it as virtually foolproof, don't they? So much for their vaunted moral high ground, and so much for us exploiting that piece of technology. Oh, good to know, good to know. That's certainly interesting. Intriguing, even. What else? Excellent. Well, here's your reward, along with something extra for your effort. And more for converting Head Refresher Goulds to the joys of commerce. All right. For your next assignment, well, it's something of an organizational priority.
Congratulations! Your storied success has earned you a whole entire minute with our illustrious leader, Auntie Cleo!
So your preliminary chores are complete? Oh, finally, a contractor with a little backbone. Normally they flee or expire, leaving the work woefully incomplete. Ah, I remember you from before. Fairfield, yes? Tell me, as an outside agent, do you have any quandaries working with our organization? We do tend to forge ahead, yes. Free enterprise moves freely. So many ways to grease the wheels. Do hope you'll forgive these two. They're competing for a rather significant promotion, you see. It tends to make employees fractious, like young ursopods cooped up in the den. So, you've been advancing a fairly radical idea with a group that, to date, we've considered our rivals. I received a most curious transmission from Ruth Bassar, presiding bishop of the Order, proposing we discuss the prospect of our groups working together. She stated this was your idea. A cessation of hostilities could present any number of potentially profitable options, assuming we could work out favorable terms. Are you sure you'd rather pursue this over your current exclusive contract with us? Before I contact Ruth, I want to be 110% certain. Fine. I'll initiate a call with Ruth through a secure line in the conference room next door. Let's pick this up there. Don't keep me waiting.
Next is assertive arbitration. Quite the bit pit. Down 14% in net gross. You're supposed to squeeze...
Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business.
There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to...
Oh, yes. Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Oh, spare no detail.
This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed.
That's exactly the sort of rugged, steadfast feistiness we need here today. Now, let's arbitrate. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology.
Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice.
What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop.
I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question.
Amenable to that proposition. Less work on our part.
I'm waiting to hear an argument that would support such a ludicrous proposal.
Attention, valued employees.
one said anything about paying. But, it would be a pittance compared to the future profits we might derive.
Involving money in science seems questionable. But having access to Auntie's resources would be useful for our research. Fine. Yes, I agree. Reluctantly.
Ruth, I commend you for being so receptive. And I assure you that Auntie's Choice values science. Nothing bad has ever happened when science and commerce are combined.
On the subject of science, it would be most prudent for us to discuss who will be overseeing the management of skip drives, specifically the production of skip cores.
No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all.
Where Auntie's Choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience.
So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous! And a waste of a perfectly good monopoly.
We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to. And a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. That assumes Auntie's Choice would even abide by such a list of restrictions, and which would almost be impossible for the Order to enforce.
Not to worry. We can build a regulatory commission to oversee production and make sure everything is up to Auntie's Choice and Order standards. Partiality concerns are a thing of the past. Obviously, regulators would be incentivized to care most about the safety of the consumer. You know, right after production costs.
As would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands.
The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's Choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later.
I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's Choice.
I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom?
That is, quite frankly, none of your concern.
Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for.
I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly. brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. No, it is most certainly not. But if humanity only pursued the safe course, we would still be subsisting in caves rather than thriving amongst the stars. Being first inherently comes with risk, but better that I should undertake this endeavor than ask another to do so on my behalf. I am singularly positioned for the task.
And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order.
A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. You sound just like Laureate Beckett. I weary of having this debate, especially as I can never seem to win it. Very well. Never mind about the chemicals. Now is not the time for risky experimentation at any rate.
Oh, bother. Here I wanted to see Ruth lobotomize herself. Oh, well. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be.
Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor.
Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself.
One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider.
We'll of course provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Doodaloo!
Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, we must reclaim Spireton from the enemy. Spireton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton. Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
I never would have foreseen this day would come. You are exceedingly unpredictable, Commander. In a good way. Mostly.
the extra